Do-do-do. Hello. How are you doing? You know, first before making this video, I have to say that I'm almost 51 years old. I'll be 51 years old here like in a little over 2 weeks. Not that old. There's plenty of people way older than me, obviously. Never seen in my lifetime anything so in the United States here, but it's also too across Europe and Australia. I hear from a lot of Aussies. There's just flat out hardcore banana republic. You know, like tinfoil sheriffs and crazy dictator. That's what we mean when we say banana republic. Like some little tropical armpit hellhole where everything is corrupt, everything is upside down. You know, law enforcement's been demonized. People are like, well, that's great, you know, law enforcement. Yeah, okay, well, let's. And I saw this coming. It's just banana republic filth going on here in the United States. Just flat out, bar none, irrefutable, not my opinion. There's a lot of people that have, and I'm not one of them, that are talking about this. It's about Jim Rickards' warning. And this is not a guy that makes warnings. He's one of the extremely level-headed, calm people. But I first wanted to talk about Hawaii and Australia. A video actually got sent to me by like an enormous number of people. First off, the government was warned about a brush issue nearly 2 years ago. Those records came out on western Maui, non-native grasses and basically a tinderbox. You know, the same thing happened in Canada, and I saw the satellite photo of countless fires, hundreds of miles apart, erupting spontaneously at the exact same time. People on Facebook, who I confirmed via their Facebook page, actually do live in and on Maui, the island of Maui. And countless others are reporting this, that the fires erupted, it's not just Lahainai, I'm probably mispronouncing this city, that the fires erupted, but there are multiple fires across Maui, and countless people, both online and people that contacted me that I confirmed live there, started at the exact same time, you know, desperately apart, you know, quite a very long distance apart. Isn't that kind of weird? That's the exact same thing that happened to Canada. I've seen countless videos of super high winds pushing the power poles nearly over within like 4 or 5 feet, and that, of course, is close enough to arc to the ground. And everybody is asking why the power was not turned off during such incredibly high winds. I've seen, they're not fake videos, they're just normal Joe Blows showing the power poles, you know, nearly touching the ground. Where they arced over, that I don't know. Many people are reporting that there is quite literally, you know, attempted anyway, fire sales of land grabs going on, where entities that are connected with very evil entities like Darkstone, I like to call them, are trying to buy land up from people that right now are extremely desperate. You know, obviously it's been scorched and burned and the house is on it, but you know, there are land grabs going on where people, I don't know how they're contacting them because the cell towers are down. They obviously don't have internet, but apparently they're on foot. They're offering to buy people's torched parcels. That's absolutely horrific. Unbelievable. I've been in constant contact with 2 people in Maui telling me some of the, oh, this I did not believe. FEMA, they're trying to get supplies there. They shut all the roads down, so they're trying to bring supplies in to the wreck city on the west coast, Lahainai, right? I'm mispronouncing it once again. And the supplies are being robbed by the United States government. They're putting them into, they're literally being robbed of the stuff that's being brought in on the boats. I thought, surely that's not true. Not that I have any faith in the government at all. I've had multiple other people confirm this to me, that the supplies are being robbed. You need to please explain that one to me. I could kind of explain it to myself, but if I were to say it, then it would just be random speculation. But I have multiple confirmations of that. Absolutely unbelievable. As much as I keep hearing from Australia, I talk to a lot of people from Australia, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse, where money is being frittered away availability-wise at the bank. It's become more and more and more difficult to get money. Australia is going digital. There's just flat out no ifs, ands, or buts. Just hardcore, 100% confirmation. Australia is on the super fast track to going all digital. Here's something else. My real estate buddy would never lie to me. He knows a lot of people in the biz. He knows Kroger's, is, by the way, is a grocery store chain here. It's really huge. It's based in Ohio, and they bank with PNC Bank, Kroger's corporate, in other words, for their money in and out. And they confirm that by next year they plan to be all digital. So, talking with a Kroger's corporate exec in finances, the bank that they bank with, they're planning on going all digital by no later than sometime in 2024. All this stuff that was crazy talk not too long ago is confirmed. I'm getting to the important part here, but there's something funny but horrific at the same time. These videos, by the way, are never meant to make anybody afraid. I despise that. I don't traffic in fear. I'm not interested in buying it. I'm not interested in selling it. I'm not interested in duplicating it. People that are prepared are in the opposite of fear. When you actually have your head on a swivel, kind of like those meerkats that stand on their legs, then you can prepare yourself for what's coming. And everybody should be that way. That's the opposite of fear, saying, hey, this is what's coming. Oh, you're fear-mongering. You know, it is the exact opposite of that. Fear is what these people want. When you are in fear and your life is in turmoil, you make bad decisions that work in their favor. This has been used since the beginning of time. You fearmonger the unintelligent people. They panic, and then they're putty in your hands. You can make them do or buy or not buy, and anything that you want. They're putty in your hands. People that are not afraid are not putty in your hands. Someone brought up a perfect analogy of this old animated thing from Pixar called Monsters, Inc. And it's the story about how these monsters go into all these sleeping little ones' rooms via these magic doors, and they scare the heck out of them. And they collect their fear, like when they scream in fear or they shriek, you know, it fills up this energy canister, and the whole parallel dimension of where the monsters live is the whole electrical grid of the city or the world of the monsters. It runs off of the energy created by little kids' screams that they collect. I don't know if you remember that movie, but it's like, that's exactly what these people are doing. As long as they've got you afraid, then you are a putty in their hands. Anyway, Jim Rickards, by the way, who advised the U.S. Department of Defense, U.S. intelligence community, and major hedge funds, written many countless books, first ever financial war games that were conducted by the Pentagon. He was a facilitator of saying, guess that blah, blah, blah. I'm not interested in praising this guy, but he's an extremely level-headed, very intelligent economist who's not selling anything. Anyway, this is his letter. I'm going to give you the very brief, you could read the whole thing. You could type in Jim Rickards. It's called Biggest Monetary Shock in 52 Years. By the way, BRICS, which is for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, Suid-Africa is what BRICS stands for. They have a meeting on August the 22nd, which is just, 8 days from now. It doesn't mean the whole world is going to shift in 8 days, but they're going to make an announcement, a presumed announcement based upon leaked information. And the people that actually do know, and the people that have serious money, not me, obviously, are, there's a southern saying. It goes, pooping razor blades. It's like, man, they're pooping razor blades. It means they're frightened out of their skin. Not literally, but nearly literally financially. Anyway, he says the biggest upheaval. This is not a guy who fearmongers, okay? This is not a doom and gloomer fearmonger. When this guy makes a warning, because he is intelligent and extremely level-headed, when this guy is making a warning, literally everybody his ears perked up like the meerkat's thing. It's like Jim Rickards is sending out with this guy that never does this. Not only is he giving a dire warning, he's given you a date, too, of when it's going to kickstart here. And it's just 9 days from now. Biggest upheaval in international finance, he says, since 1971. He's taking aim at the dollar. The world is in unprecedented position and completely unprepared for what he's calling a geopolitical shockwave. BRICS is going to be linked to gold. Whether they make that announcement on the 22nd of this month or the 24th when the conference ends and they're meeting in Johannesburg, South Africa. He says there's going to be extreme difficulty in considering the impact of BRICS on the U.S. dollar, is that the U.S. dollar indices compare currency to currency, as it currently is. But that, he says, is meaningless, since the dollar, euro, and the sterling all would suffer a loss of confidence at the exact same time. If gold goes from 2,000, which is where it currently is, like 1950 today, spot price per troy ounce, to 10,000. This is better understood as a 80% devaluation of the dollar. You really should read this warning article from him. And this is not a guy that makes warning articles. He's extremely emotionless and well-balanced and quite intelligent on the subject. And he's telling you, I'm going to just put his words in different words in the article. He's basically telling you the poo is going to hit the fan. And it's not going to happen next Tuesday, but they're going to announce to you what they're doing, and it's going to occur in stages as they try to roll this out. By the way, there are, how many other countries? Yeah, currently 8 nations that have formally applied to membership to BRICS and 17 others that expressed interest in joining. The 8 formal applicants are Algeria, Argentina, Bahrain, Egypt, Indonesia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, United Arab Emirates. China, India, Brazil, Russia are the 4 of the 9 highest population countries on the planet, with a combined population of 3.2 billion people, or basically 40% of the Earth's population. The BRICS and Saudi Arabia, who's about to join, have a combined GDP of $29 trillion, or basically 30% of the global gross domestic product. They are getting away. And here's the warning. I've been saying this now for basically a year, and it is still accurate, undeniable and still accurate. As far as the United States is concerned, I don't care if you hate the United States or Europe. Like, I hate America. You're sipping on your cafe latte in Paris. Here's the fact. The only way out of this for the United States, and you should pay attention, only way out is one of the two or both. Central bank digital currency, which we have FedCoin now, and war. Whether that be limited or global, it actually has to be more than just limited. So the only way out is war and or central bank digital currency. That's the only way out of this. When the U.S. dollar gets devaluated at, say it's even 60%, he's predicting 80%. And this will be a staged rollout, but they're trying to roll it out as quickly as possible. I mean, there are a lot of experts in the Pentagon. You know, even we see all this, the dumb, really dumb people, and you know exactly who they are. The dumb people at the White House podium. We know who they're like. Man, these people are really, really stupid. The people that never appear on any TV set, you know, are actually quite intelligent people that are in the shadows. They know exactly what's coming. There are efforts being made, undeniably 100%, to work one of two, and I see the war front. I don't think there's a single person out there right now that doesn't say that the U.S. isn't pushing war really hard, really fast. And they are. That's undeniable. I can see through all the lying of the media. I've always been able to spot their lies, including when I was a teenager. They only have war and CBDC. Those are the only 2 options. They are going to announce next Tuesday, or the ending of the conference in Johannesburg on the 24th. That's just like what, you know, less than a week and a half away, that they're going to go on the gold standard. Now these countries are dollar poor, but they're commodity rich. Russia has an enormous amount of gold. I know the United States has an enormous amount of gold. I know it. I forget what the theoretical limit of what the BRICS, when they announced that they're going to back it by gold, and it's been leaked that they're not going to back it by the price of gold relative to the US dollar, but back BRICS by the actual weight of gold, that they theoretically only have to have something like between 20 and 30% gold backing for this BRICS solution to occur. I don't care how much you hate the United States, but I tell you right now, when you back a venomous animal with claws into a corner, and I don't care what you think about the United States. The United States has both venom and claws, and they're not going to let this happen. They're not. I mean, that's not. I'm saying I hope that's what happens. I'm saying that's what's going to happen. It is going to happen. It's either war, CBDC, or both. And I see both of those being pushed. FedNow coin, I don't think there's a person on this earth that doesn't see the United States is doing everything it can to stoke hot war conflict. I mean, they are. I hate to say that, but they are. People keep asking me, and I do not even pretend. I don't even pretend to be any form of financial advisor. I don't. Everybody keeps saying, well, you know, what do you put your money into? It's like, you know, I don't tell anybody what to do, but the very best and brightest on this earth will all say the same thing: asset diversification. Have all your eggs in one basket. It's a really bad idea. My entire life, even as a teenager, I never trusted any banks. Now we have a different thing. Liquid used to mean a lot of different stuff. I used to talk about liquid assets, quickly exchangeable for cash. Cash is a bad idea. You know, if it turns into, which of course it's a fiat currency, if it turns into toilet paper overnight, I mean, they used to be considered, well, what's the best liquid asset? Cash. That's just not the case anymore. So cash, no. CDs, no. Treasuries, no. High yield bank account, absolutely, hell no. Money market funds, hell no. So all these things that used to be considered, you know, liquid, now they need to not, as far as diversification, and it's exactly what I've done. I've taken my own advice on this, and I've thought about it a million different times, a million different ways, what little that I have. Now it doesn't have to be, doesn't need to be merely liquid, but it has to be intrinsic, because cash and CDs and treasuries, high yield bank accounts and money markets, on and on and on. There was like, this is the liquid assets you need to be diversified. I mean, now those are, you know, they're resting on toilet paper. It's one form of toilet paper resting on another form of toilet paper. Well, I could trade in my CDs or my treasuries, my bonds for cash. It's like, okay, you've traded one form of toilet paper for another form of toilet paper. BRICS is about to announce you're going to have an 80% devaluation of the dollar. That's just robbery. That means the cash sitting in your safe, not in the bank, but in your personal safe, you know, is, you know, deflated like a pop balloon overnight. So those are not liquid. So now we need both liquid and intrinsic. Those are metals, silver and platinum. If you're in the United States, I know if you're in Europe you can't get it, but I mean the most important metal, I'll let you figure that out, is the one metal that has never gone down. And I mean, it fluctuates a little bit like regular metals. Never gone down, only gone up. Protects your family, protects your life, protects your land, it gets you food. Has always been a form of money. That particular metal is called lead. I will let you figure that one out. Specifically, it's lead that is able to, you know, go really fast. Specifically, though, metals such as silver and platinum. Gold currently basically 2,000 an ounce. If it jumps to 10,000, that's a possibility. I flat out say that gold is, and that's not my opinion, it's worth about $800 to $1,200 an ounce. The only reason it's so massively inflated is because of BRICS. Its actual value, it's not my opinion, it's a fact. Gold's actual value is between $800 and $1,200 an ounce. Silver, most of my life, has been about 30 to 50% higher than gold. Currently, platinum is $905 an ounce. I mean, you want to talk about a great buy. All purchase of metals, of course, is speculative. You are taking your money at risk. It's not necessarily gambling, but it's kind of close. I've been buying metals since I was a young teenager. I know a lot about silver and a lot about metals, but it doesn't matter how much you know about it. It's a bad investment. Metals are a bad investment. Why, you just got done saying buy gold and platinum. I mean, excuse me, not gold and platinum. Silver and platinum. That's correct. because it's a hedge against inflation. You want to talk about 80% devaluation? Silver, by the way, has always been a form of money. There are a lot of entities on this earth that, you go to the grocery store, they're not going to take silver. I get that. There are an endless number of places that I normally get stuff from that will 100% take silver. I mean, literally 100%. They will take silver. Realtors, all sorts of food. I know countless. My buddy who has, he raises cattle. He's even told me flat out, he will take silver. By the way, he says a large cow, large heifer, moo, equals steaks. $900. He will take silver for it. Flat out. I know endless number of farmers that will take silver for food. I don't know if you remember this or not, but food is kind of important for life to continue on. Silver is money. So, silver and platinum. Right now, silver and platinum. Silver is $22.70 an ounce. Platinum today is $905 an ounce. You have to pay a premium on both of those. Get low premium silver and platinum. Next one, land. I don't care how much you complain about property taxes on land, but renting is flushing your money down the toilet. Here's something else that nobody considers about land. Trees are money. My one piece of land that's not very far from here, I recently sold $5,000 worth of lumber off of it. Half a year before that, I sold $7,000 worth of lumber off of it. The land, basically, unless you know what to look for, looks the same. It's not like, oh God, the land has been shaved, kind of like my head. Like, oh no, it's so ugly. You really can't tell. That's called selective lumbering, logging, selective logging. Fact. Land gives you food, it gives you shelter, it gives you warmth, because you take those trees and, interestingly, you chop them up and you have yourself a wood-burning stove, which I've got 3 of, technically. Stick it in your wood-burning stove, it cooks your food, it keeps your cabin warm or your house warm. Land gives you many, 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 many things. Currently, I'm selling 3 acres of land. I hope somebody buys it. I think I've got 2 offers on it already, vis-a-vis my realtor. Don't buy numismatic. Numismatic is like rare and or valuable, even if it's just a little bit rare value. Bad idea. Numismatic does not translate. If the poo hits the fan in any level at all, numismatics is a fancy way of saying rare and or valuable, collector value, all that stuff is garbage. Kind of like comic books and baseball cards. Like, it's rare and valuable. Poo hits the fan, that stuff is garbage. It's toilet paper, it's firewood. The same goes for any value over its metal content. Like, this is a rare gold coin from 1920. Who cares? Don't buy numismatic. Don't buy it. Like, it's in a case and it's been graded. Bullion, it doesn't matter if it's scratched and dented, it's still intact. You're buying raw metal. Don't buy numismatic. Oddly enough, and this is true, alcohol, medical supplies, tools that help you build things and do things. My doctor down in London, Kentucky, she just got a logging machine. It's one of those things you lay out the log, and it's got a big bandsaw on top, and it cuts lumber. Lumber, that's basically a money printing machine. They're setting it up right now. I think it costs $6,000. They're going to cut their own lumber for their own cabin. They're also, too, going to take, because they have a lot of acreage. There's those neat vertical things that they're worth a lot of money. It's called trees. Keeps you warm. It's worth money. You cut it up and you make, lumber out of it. Very valuable. You got to let it dry and whatnot, but tools, nails, it's quite surprising, like deck nails and things. You take the wood, get yourself a box of nails. Man, you could do just about anything with a pile of lumber and nails. I like the deck screws, the one with the star heads on them. I don't like regular nails. So, those are things that are both liquid and intrinsic. Silver, platinum, land. Anyway, I just keep getting asked that question all the time, over and over and over and over again. But this is coming. The most level-headed guy that I could think of, Jim Rickards. He's warning everybody. This is a guy that doesn't warn anybody. Yeah, everybody has their ears. Everybody that's paying attention is paying attention to his warning. The biggest monetary shock in 52 years. He's talking about 1971 when we went off the gold standard. There's just the whole call it geopolitical shockwave, his words. And he's right. They're going to announce that on Tuesday. They could announce it when they actually close the conference in Johannesburg on the 24th, I believe it is. And it's not going to happen instantly overnight, but it's going to roll quick. I love to see what happens to the price of gold, even though it's already astronomically high. And any precious metal. If gold does that, silver is going to do it too. It's not like gold and silver are disconnected. Gold skyrockets, and it's already skyrocketed. It's way too high because of all these governments backing, their paper trash, their toilet paper, backing up their toilet paper, been buying gold like crazy for the past several years. And they have been. You can look that up anywhere. These governments, some of the big banks, have been hoarding and buying gold like it's the end of the world. So I'd like to see what happens to gold when they announce that next week. So let me know what you think. I read every comment, and I hope you have a lovely week.